Hello and welcome to Daily Rob for Tuesday the 28th of June 2016. And today, well, let me share my recent story. Yesterday I changed my environment. I changed my farm stay and went with my host to the next biggest city, and from there I took a regional train to another city close to the German border called Gliwice or Gleiwitz. And the reason being, I'm switching farms. I'm going to another farm project which is located in the surroundings of Gliwice. And so what I knew beforehand was that on the day of my arrival in Gliwice, my farm stay hosts won't be there. So I had to figure out a solution for myself to stay somewhere. And so I went on Couchsurfing and to find a free place to stay in exchange for sharing my story with my host and getting to know something more about the city. And I found someone. But then in the last moment, my host told me that unfortunately some plans on his side have changed and that he no longer will be able to host me. Alright, I had to figure out something else. I had another Couchsurfing host and she said it's probably very, very inconvenient for her to host me because she will arrive really late back home. But I should still give her, let her know in case I can't find anything else, then she might be able to host me, despite all that inconvenience, which I found already a bit inconvenient for myself too, because I didn't want to be a burden for her. Ultimately, none of these plans worked out. I also went on Facebook and tried to sort of search Facebook for the keywords Couchsurfing, Gliwice, nomads, whatever. And I even found one guy, a French person, who lives in Gliwice and who's preparing his own big trip, and asked people for help along the way. So I thought, okay, if not that guy, then who else? But unfortunately he did not reply either, so I was left basically with just the one last option to go to a hostel. I went on different platforms. I went on Airbnb, I went on Hostel World, and I went on Booking.com. But none of them really had... Well, there was some Airbnb, but it was incredibly expensive and super shiny, poshy apartments, something that I didn't really need. I just wanted to have a shelter. Hostel World and Booking.com did not work. There were some hotels listed, but no hostels. And I was really surprised. No hostels in Gliwice. All right. Then I went on Google and just typed in hostel. It got me 3 results. I sort of start them on my phone, all being done in the McDonald's from the McDonald's Wi-Fi. And then it was I think 10 o'clock already at night, and I went to see these addresses, and it turned out like at the places where they were marked, just nothing existed. And then I mentally already prepared myself to kind of sleep somewhere, outside. Maybe find a lonely place and just take out my sleeping bag and then I walked on. I went into a sort of shop that was still open. Asked for some help. I went to the fire brigade. Asked for some options if they know about some options in the surroundings. They told me about one which I couldn't find. So then I just walked on, and at one point I just got in touch with another person in front of a shop. He was kind of like telling me, "Oh, I've seen you before today already." And I said, "Oh, maybe." He recognized me by my guitar that I had with me, and then he said, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "Well, just a place to stay. Couldn't find any of these cheap hostels." And he said, "You might give the student dorm a try, which is like really close by down the road." And I said, "Wow, that's brilliant." Really nice idea. So I went to this student dorm and just explained my situation to the dorm lady at the reception. And well, first of all, she was like really confused. "So who are you? Are you a student? What? But you're not Polish? Well, half Polish, all right. But so why are you here?" And I just explained the whole situation, that I'm going to work as a volunteer on an organic farm, sort of described it as an internship. And then she kind of understood that, the concept of an internship is close to the concept of studying, or it's related. And then she said, "All right, give me 30 zloty, which is like, the Polish currency, 30 zloty, which is about maybe €8. And she gave me a room. Fantastic. It was very simple, nothing special. But I was so thankful and grateful for having found this really just friendly woman who was willing to help me in that situation, in which I felt really stranded. And so this was my approach, to finding a place. But when I was walking around, I was quite wondering. Well, I noticed two things. First, I had really difficulties to maybe just approach someone and ask someone. For example, I went through a park and there seemed to be a student party. So people my age, and I saw them like having barbecue. But I could not get across this hurdle to just go to them and ask them, just connect to them and describe like who I am, what I'm doing, and then that I'm still looking for a place to stay tonight. I did not do it. And I just don't know why I had this resistance inside me to do it. And the second thing that I noticed about, maybe not cities in general, but at least this city, if there was a way for me, for others to just find places, public, common places, where you can just stay safely. Like the only thing I can think of, the only location is a library, where you can just go for free. Nobody is questioning you why you're coming, or why you have these bags, why you look like a traveler. You can just go there. You can go to a McDonald's or a Starbucks, but this is just not a pleasant environment for me to stay. This is just, this purely visible capitalist idea, which I generally don't really support. So I would prefer to have more of these, spaces like university libraries, or just environments in which you can maybe relax, sit down, and just be for yourself without having to consume something. And that's why, even a cafe or a bar yes, it is a place, but there's a limitation attached to it. You can just go there if you drink a coffee or a tea or something, and then, you're expected to leave after 1-2 hours. So that was my second observation about cities. Where are the commons? Where are the common, public spaces in cities, and how do we map them? How do we find them? If you have any ideas about that, please let me know. I would find that very useful to know. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to share today, and I wish you a good day. I had a sort of good night, so I feel energized, and today I can move on to my new farm stay experience, and we'll let you know in the upcoming days how I experienced it. Goodbye, see you tomorrow.